Good morning, everyone. My name is Travis Mahis, and today our group will examine the social and environmental impact associated with the production and disposal of electronic waste. If you have a look around you, in your pockets, or even in your bags, you are likely to be carrying a device that contributes to one of the world's fastest growing waste streams, that is, e-waste. Now, what exactly is e-waste? E-waste, or electronic waste, refers to any discarded electronic or electrical devices. And this isn't just a simple trash problem. In this presentation, we will examine the social and environmental issues associated with e-waste and then explore the regional challenges of its disposal, particularly within the Caribbean region. Additionally, we will evaluate initiatives to combat this problem and provide our reflections on how us, as consumers, can be a part of the solution. I will now hand you over to Tristan Patterson, who will continue.
Today I'll be highlighting an overview of extant social and environmental issues related to electronics manufacture and disposal. Many of these problems begin at the mining stage. Materials like cobalt and rare earth metals are often extracted in regions where children and vulnerable workers are involved in extremely dangerous labor. These mining sites usually lack proper safety standards, exposing workers to toxic dust, unstable ground, and long hours for very little pay. Even at the factory level, workers frequently face excessive overtime, stressful conditions, and limited labor rights, which shows how widespread exploitation is throughout the electronics supply chain. Environmental impacts are just as serious. Manufacturing depends on chemicals and heavy metals that can contaminate rivers, soil, and surrounding communities when waste isn't properly managed. Mining operations clear large areas of land, damage natural habitats, and disrupt ecosystems that may never fully recover. Both production and disposal also introduce toxic substances like lead, mercury, and harmful fumes that can linger for years and affect human health and wildlife.
My name is Nikolai Rahman, and I will be discussing regional issues in the disposal of electronic waste, mainly in the Caribbean. Now let's look at our first main problem. Many Caribbean countries do not have enough recycling facilities. There are very few centers to safely handle electronic waste, so a lot of it is dumped or handled unsafely. Another problem we face is the cost. The safe disposal of electronic waste is a lengthy and expensive process. Because of this, companies often choose cheaper but unsafe methods. This leads to another big issue: the environment being harmed due to improper waste disposal. Chemicals from old electronics can pollute the soil, water, and air, which can affect plants, animals, and even people. This also affects our health. Electronic waste can release toxic chemicals that are dangerous to people. These chemicals can cause breathing problems, skin issues, and other long-term health effects when they get into the air, water, or food. Solving these regional issues is important for both the environment and our health.
Now that we are familiar with the problems caused by electronic waste, my name is Shania Bihari and I'll be talking about the global and regional initiatives to combat electronic waste. Firstly, we'll be talking about the Basel Convention. The Basel Convention is a global initiative whose aim is to protect human health and the environment against the negative effects of hazardous waste. The Basel Convention helps the Caribbean as there is the BCRC. The BCRC is the Caribbean's version of the Basel Convention, and we even have one located in Port of Spain, Trinidad. They help in building regional capacity for waste management through training and technology transfer, and to minimize the generations of hazardous waste we have in the Caribbean. Given that our mobile phones are the biggest contributors to electronic waste, the BCRC launched the Mobile Phone Partnership Initiative in 2002. They came up with the ideal recyclability of mobile phones and compared it to data found in Trinidad and Tobago at the given time. Their solution to this problem was providing collection points for those in Trinidad to drop off their mobile phones after use so it can be properly disposed of.
And now that we've covered our first three objectives, we will reflect on our current behaviors and discuss how we can minimize our environmental impact due to e-waste. Currently, we tend to buy new models of electronics upon release, disregard the impact that electronics companies we purchase from have on the environment, ignore e-waste disposal regulations, and dispose of electronics that are still repairable. We can replace these behaviors with more sustainable ones by reducing, reusing, recycling, and researching. We aim to reduce the amount of e-waste we generate and the resources we consume by delaying replacement of our older devices and evaluating policies of electronic companies before repurchasing from them. We plan to reuse by repairing devices that are not working or donating devices that we no longer need. And if we're not able to reuse our device, we must recycle through companies certified for e-waste disposal by the Environmental Management Authority, SWMCOL, or other local authorities. To ensure that our treatment of e-waste meets established standards, we must remain up to date with pertinent research and newly implemented policies that are related to the disposal of e-waste. As electronics become more prevalent, e-waste disposal is an urgent problem that requires government intervention through policies and individual intervention through our actions to shift the status quo in a favorable direction. Thank you for listening to our presentation.